Good evening, good evening. How are we? Hope we are all well. Yes, I'm live. Right, we can knock that one off. Right. It's very dark in here, isn't it? I haven't got all the lights on. I haven't put that one on yet. It's better. But still, we're still overcast. Still got no sun. It rained a little bit earlier with spots like huge. I just washed the mattress cover and put it out on the line, and yeah, it decided. But it's back to nice now, nice and cool. Still quite warm in here, hence why I've got the fan on. But yeah, all's good. Right, so tonight we are going to do a scrapbook page. And we're going to use the Delightful Wishes bundle, which I've been using all week. On my live today, we created 2 cards. This one using the Global Design Project 509, their collab challenge. So that's that one. And that was also a case of a card by Sumu. I'm sure I'm butchering her name, but I'm so sorry. Of one that she'd previously done, and then we created this one using different products from the suite. So yeah, 2 very different cards using different bits of the suite. So this evening I'm using a scrapbook layout. Let's switch cameras. Right, and this is a scrapbook layout that I'm using. I saw this and I thought, oh, I really like that. Let's have a go at that. I've got an itch. I'm so sorry. So yeah. Now obviously this is on an oblong, but it's from Jennifer Franco for Paper Issues. I stumbled across their stuff not so long ago actually, and they've got some gorgeous layouts on there as well as projects. So I thought, yeah, we'll have a go at this. So it's got 2 bits of paper or card strewn across and torn, and then we've got a banner, a tag, and then some florals. So I thought we could use some of the florals out the suite, because we can do them a couple of ways. Well, 3 ways actually. We've got these ones that we can stamp if you want to stamp them and die cut them, or just stamp them direct. We have these that actually make die cut flowers, so we can do those. But also we've got the DSP, which I've got this sheet here that I'd already started to cut up, and I've just fussy cut some of the flowers out. I thought I'd make a headstock, but you don't want to be waiting for me fussy cutting flowers out all evening. It's not the most exciting, is it? So that's what I thought we'd go with. Other than that, I haven't really prepared a lot. I think I know what papers I'm going to use. I'm going to do a white background. I do like white backgrounds. Very few of my scrapbook pages that I've designed or done myself are uncoloured, though there's no reason why you can't use coloured or pattern paper. I just like doing it on white. Plus, it allows my paper and that to go further. Because if I use a full sheet of coloured, that's a full sheet gone. Whereas if I tear it and cut into it, I can use it for lots and lots of different things. So my thinking is to have a strip of green, and we'll tear that across with a strip of that over the top, so that will go the other way. And then I was thinking maybe for, if we move that over and just bring that in, for the banner, using this behind, because the banner actually sits behind. So I thought we could use a bit of that just to bring some interest in there and go from there. So I want to tear my green first, and I'm thinking around a third. We've got like 4 inches. I'm not going to measure, and I'm just going to tear towards me so I get that nice little bit of white on the edges, because I like the torn white edge. I'll go across there. If it is that we want to rip more off that, we can that way. So then I'm going to do this couple of inches. Let's go down a little bit and up, make this a bit more wiggly woggly. And then we can have that. That's it. I like how it comes down and hovers, so that it's not one above the other all the way. We've got something different. Now I'm going to want to cut a banner, and I haven't got the new banner dies. I would love them. They are on my list, but at the moment funds don't allow. So on here we're going to have a 3x4 photo. So I want my banner 4 inches for now. And I'm going to cut it at 7. Maybe. No, let's do a bit long. Let's do 8. So it's double the length. That sounds good, doesn't it? Right. Just pop that out of the way. So this is just to get a feel for how it's going to look and lay things out. Don't have to cut everything straight away. Might just higher that a bit, and that'll come something like that. There we go. We're very similar on what we've got. So that's my base layout done. That's all there is to it. 3 pieces of paper, and from that it's decorating. So I am going to go ahead and cut my banner. I'm going to use my trimmer to do this. So I cut that at 4 inches. So at 2 inches I'm going to do a line up 1.5 inches, I think. Quite a pointy banner. And then I'm going to line up from the cut in my cutting track. You can see it's just move you down a bit. It might go all a bit odd now. Okay. So in the cutting track, I'm going to line up the corner of my paper and my cut mark. I'm just going to pop that in there to see where I'm at. That's about right. And then I'm going to start with my cutting blade on the paper, not at the end. Hi Carol, thanks for joining. And the reason that is, if I went straight up there, because it's a point, it'll damage, or it could damage the paper without cutting, and that's when you get all your nasty edges. So I'm going to start with it on the paper and cut up. I think I need to go a little bit further. There we go. And then I'm going to do exactly the same the other way. So lining up in my cutting track, and again starting on the paper so that we get that nice corner. Okay, right, so I'll just move you back up again. Just move that a bit higher so you can see. There we go. That's better. Okay, so now I want to glue this down. I'm just going to add little bits of glue. Because it's been stuck down by the others, I'm just adding glue at the two ends so that I don't get glue everywhere when I'm sticking it down. So I don't want glue on these, and these have got to go above. And to make sure I get it exactly where I want it, I'm going to do it while those are in place. And then I can pull those out. And I can just line it up, make sure it looks square on, which I think it is. So we're just making a scrapbook page, Carol, using this layout. And this is one by Janessa Franco for Paper Issues. They've got some brilliant layouts and projects on there. So we can now glue these down. This paper is absolutely gorgeous. And I'm using the last of it. And I'm half tempted to get some more. They're nice, aren't they? They've got some brilliant layouts on there. And even though they're quite involved, like there's lots of, they're simple. Well, all the ones I've done so far have been. I've done a few now. And yeah, I just like them. There we go. I've got some glue coming out there, but that's okay. Not to worry. We shall deal with that with our glue rubber after. So did your window man tell you what you wanted? Was it all good news, Carol? Hopefully it was. Alright, so I'll add that to there. There we go. Fab. Love that. Right, now I need to cut some bits. So I want to cut my mat for my photo and a tag for my journaling. Yes, you just need to order. Oh, excellent. That's good to know. Right. So I think my maths, I'm going to do pecan pie. I know it's quite a dull colour, but it's part of the neutrals, and I think it'll match a photograph lovely on here. I don't want to bring in too many different colours. If I use the yellows, they might get a bit lost against it. The green, we've already got green there, so that's going to get a bit lost. So yeah, we're going to have a 3 1/8, because it'll only be a small border, by 4 1/8. Well, my husband came home today with the certificate check. I forgot to plug my laptop in. We had our mental house, the electrics done on that. We have to have it all passed. And he came home with that tonight. Great. And there's a load of work that needs doing. And the gentleman's quoted for the work. So I've got to now get that done. Well, like, if it's not one thing, it's another. I mean, we've had to pay to have the checks done. We paid to have the gas one done the other day. So they've both come out at once. And now we've got this work to have done as well. It's like, really? Please just stop. Right. So now I want my label. Do I want a white label? Yes, I think I do. I haven't got any bits of cut. It is, Carol, isn't it? Totally all or nothing. Hopefully, though, once that's done, that's it then. Right, so because I know I don't need all of this card, I'm going to cut half down to 14.4 and then cut 2 at 10, so that I've got my inserts for my card, standard front layers. It's just the way I do it when I know I'm cutting into a piece of card that I don't really need much of it. Try and get the most out of my card. I'm going to do this at 2 inches. Oh, actually, thinking about it, totally scrap that, because I've got the Just a Note. So I can use this die that cuts out a little piece of note paper that can go on there instead. Yeah, I'd forgot I'd got that. Right, that won't go to waste. I shall use that for die cutting and stamping. Right, and let's just trim around there. I forgot I got this. Right. Let's just pop that out the way. We'll bring in my plates. I'm just going to move that. But yeah, that's life, isn't it? You know, everything comes all or nothing. We had the shower go the other week. We had to buy a new shower. It was a valve that had gone in it, so it just kept running. It wouldn't turn off. That was part of the things that happened last Thursday. So yeah, we had no water because we had to turn it off completely. And then of course we had to turn the electric off to fit it, and oh, nightmare. Right, so we've got that, and then in here there is, pop that back, a stamp for stamping lines on to your notepad. I haven't had a play with this at all. This is the first time it's going to be used. Okay, and I'm going to do those lines in, I think I might do them in Old Olive, but stamped off. Where is it's there? Old piece of grid paper. Now I don't need my stamping foam mat because we've got foam on our stamp. I might need to prime this, but we'll just see what it stamps like. Ooh, that's not the best. It's a bit blotchy. Of course, I haven't got my scrub out. I've only got my chamois. Been using my chamois a lot more recently than my scrub. Having my scrub open on my desk takes up a lot of room. But also I find it dries really quick in this heat. And I just end up constantly purchasing stamping mist. So I was like, you know what, I'll start using the chamois a little bit more and my cleaning cloth. I'm just going to stamp that off, and then pop that down there. Yeah, and then I shall use that the majority of the time, and then every now and again I'll just use my chamois to give things a real good clean off. Excellent. There we have a lovely journaling card. I mean, this will be great for scrapbooking, but also for creating cards as well. Yeah, especially if you're just sending a card like Just a Note or something like that. It'll be great, or for graduation, things like that to do with the school. A-levels results today. Luckily, but nobody who's had their results. Right, so we'll have that with that. And then what have we got on here? Oh, we've got just a note. Happy back to school. Don't think I need that. You've got this and best ever. Very good. And then you also get to make clips, paper clips and bulldog clips. And then there's just some little heart paper clip and the hearts and the arrows. But yeah, some real nice stuff in there. I will have a play with that and make some up another time. Right, so we've got that, which I love just like that. I am wondering about putting a little bit shading on there. No, we'll leave it as it is. I'm going to stick that down. I'm just going to put glue on the 3 sides. Not quite to the edge of there, so I can tuck that corner. And pop that on. And then grab this one. Come on, glue. Pop that on. It's very rare I put glue at the edges when I'm scrapbooking, because I like tucking things in behind. There we go. Right, lovely. Now our flowers, and what I thought, I'm going to do a mixture of these that I've pre-fussy cut, and we'll do some stamped. Just thought they'd look really nice. So I'm thinking, because these are off the edge of the paper, I've cut them out, don't waste them, because that edge we can pop on here and that'll be perfect for around there. Can have it sticking out if we want. I want something with a little bit darker. Have I got an edge one? Nope. So see, I could put that under there. That's too much green all together there, I think. So how about that's better? That one's only got one. Okay, quite like that. And then if we wanted a yellow one down here, go for that. And then we need some that are down here. Oh, that's got a bit chopped off there. So if I turn that round that way, you can hide that under another one, like so. And that's the thing, you hide what's been chopped off. One without any green, maybe in there. And then we can have a cluster up here, which we can pop a half one. And a full one. And then I can do some stamping around them as well. But that gives us our 3 sort of areas, which is what we have on here. They do have a lot more on there, but it depends how much you actually like. But what I'm going to do is bring in Pool Party, just as a hint of shading behind. Grab this, and first of all I'm going to do some up here. I'm going to, yeah, a little bit lost lagoon then. So I'm just going to stamp a lot of it off and then just put up here then that will come onto there with that leaf, which is nice. Shows up that leaf. And then we'll have some up here. Not putting lots of ink on because I don't want it very dark. It's just a hint. There's plenty of ink in that lid to do what I want to do. There we go. And that will go back on there. Something like that. Might need to stretch it out a bit. But we can keep putting it on, taking it off, trialing it, see how we like it. There we go. Excellent. And then down here as well. And this is what I was thinking about shading on the journaling piece. Just to give it that edge. Well, and knowing I'd be doing some here. I mean, a lot of people would do this before they glued things down, but whatever suits, you don't have to. You do it whenever suits you. Right, I'm also going to bring in the little stamp. That's the 3 little middles, almost like the middles of flowers, but it's not. I'll grab a block, and we've got the same design on this paper, so I am going to replicate that, and I'm going to do it in Lost Lagoon, Lemon Lolly, just so it's nice and soft. And I'm going to do that around here too. And I am doing some full strength and some stamped off. And then round here. Just so it adds a little bit more interest. You might not be able to see it on camera. Being Lemon Lolly is extremely pale. There we go. And that out a bit. Right, let's see how that looks. So I'm going to glue these down. Like I say, if we want to add more in a bit, we can. So we'll pop that there, just tucked in behind there. And if we wanted, we could put that over the top, as long as we don't glue it to there, and then it can overhang our photo a little, which is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to put that on dimensionals. Now, because it's paper that's been cut, we're going to need a fair few dimensionals on it. So it's going to go that way. So I want one there and one over here. And then we'll get the little ones to pop in here and on our leaf, because we don't want it to just collapse, and that will give us the corner then over there. Yeah, so the corner will fit up inside there, which is great. Obviously, if it was cardstock, you wouldn't need to worry so much. I'll just pop that on there, so you can see it just overhangs a little and just takes away from everything having such stark edges. Just softens it that little bit. Right, I'll pop that on there like so, bringing it up a little bit to there. That's another thing with wet glue. You've got some wiggle room, move it around. Right, up here, and pop in this bit. I might actually, I'll leave that for down here. So I'll pop that one right up to the edge. And then I'm kind of thinking like so. Or do I want another edge? I think it needs something else off the edge. So I'm going to snip the edge off that and have that there. And I am going to do this flat as well. Just think it needed to broaden that edge. And then we can have that one propped up there. So again, we need to make sure we've got plenty of dimensionals on here. I'm not going to get another big one. Let's go in with a mini all the way down the leaf. We don't want that to sag. And pop those on. Okay. Oops. Oh, it's gone very dark outside again. I think we might have a bit more rain. Would be nice. It means I don't have to water the garden. I don't mind watering, but if I can get away without it, yes please. Oh, don't stick there. Oh my goodness. There we go. Fab. Love that. That looks so much better having the two that go off rather than just one. One looked a bit odd. Right, so now we're going to do this bit down here, but what I'm going to do is stamp some of these larger, the cluster. So I want a couple of blocks because these match what's on the DSP. So we've matched in with this one with those little starbursts type things, and then this will match in with this one with those. So I want lemon lolly, and I want this, and I do need my stamping mat under here, but it's going to be so pale because I'm going to do both stamped off. We want Daffodil Delight. Thank you. Oh, I forgot my Daffodil Delight's all mank. I think I've come to the conclusion I need to get a new one because I put it in the right way and it's fell, and when I open it up it ends up with ink all over it. Oh my gosh, I'm covered in ink. Alright, let's open. No, it hasn't fell. Let me just get my pokey tool. Come on, down you go. Because it's so wet and it's not stuck anymore to the lid. It sticks to the bottom. Right, just make sure that I'm not going to get ink absolutely everywhere. Right, Daffodil Delight, Lemon Lolly. I'm going to do the detail first because that'll be the darker. That'll be easier to see, even though it's stamped off. I'm going to have it that way so that I know where I'm going. Just going to do the 2 for now and see. Right, so we're that way. And Lemon Lolly. So it's the detail in Daffodil Delight and then the rest in Lemon Lolly. The infill. And it's somewhere around there. Like I say, I do keep forgetting. My brain forgets everything, Carol. I hit menopause, so I've got menopause brain. I also, with my tablets that I'm on for my rheumatoid, can cause brain fog. So yeah, all in all, I'm terrible. I forget everything. If I don't write it down, I forget. It's horrendous. I let so many people down on things that I don't mean to, but it's said and I'm like, yeah, fine, no problem. And if I haven't wrote it down, forget it. It's not happening in my head. I've booked onto classes. We've had team meetings and stuff, and I've got up and, you know, the night before, yeah, ready for team meeting, and then I've got up and done whatever. And a few times Louise, my upline, has messaged me and said, where are you? And I'm like, well, I'm cleaning the bathroom, or I'm doing this, I'm doing that. She's like, team meeting, it's class. I'm like, oh, yeah, not good. Right, so I need to, might put a big X on it. That one can go that way. Put a big X on it. I have somewhere a permanent marker. There we go. We now have a big X on it. And if I can't remember to keep it that way, with that on it, I'm in trouble. And I will order another one. But I have literally, I'm waiting on an order to come in. So it's going to be a while. Probably next month. Right. So these other flowers, that one's decided he wants to go there because he hasn't moved from there. So I'm going to tuck him there. I'm going to turn him around a little bit because he's got a flat part on one of his petals. So we'll pop that under there. Oops. And then I think we'll give that an uplift. If we uplift that, we'll uplift that. Yeah. Right. So I'm not going to want to put anything along there. Let's pop these on. Getting through quite a few dimensionals today, which is fine. Oh, itchy. But yeah, I must admit, it annoys me, my brain. I was the one in the school playground that everyone asked, when so-and-so, when so-and-so. And I knew. I knew when everything was, details, the lot. And like I say, now, give it a day and it's gone. Even so shorter times than that. And will it ever get any better? It is. It's frustrating. It really is. All right. So I need to cover that because that's got a straight edge. So I am going to dimensional this one as well to go over. Now, because we're working down here, I can make this a much bigger area of flowers if I wanted to. Which I may, we will see. I need a little one there. Right. I've got all these scrapbook pages done and I really need to find photos for them. I need to get me a couple of albums to put them all in, so that when I get a photo that I really want, I can just flick through and find one that goes, there we are, like that. Then I think we need another down here now. I've got one without any greenery again, so I don't want to overwhelm us with leaves. Some are nice, but we don't want too many. Let's pop that in. I'm not fussed about it totally covering everything behind. I'll just hold it up so you can see. I am leaving some gaps in between, and that's fine. I don't mind that at all. And I'm wondering if we could do with perhaps some little flowers about. So let's have a look. We can fussy cut perhaps some little flowers out of here. I'm not going to go with die cut flowers. I think they might look a bit heavy against what we've already done. So some smaller little flowers. I haven't got many. There's some. I'll go with those three. And then there's a half one there, which we can have, and a half one and two little ones. This is what I love about the DSP as well, the fact that you can use it like this. I've brought DSP packs in the past and not brought stamp sets that coordinate with them, but they've got images in the DSP, and I've literally made projects just by cutting out the DSP. I mean, when I first started card making, I didn't stamp at all. I didn't like stamping. I used to buy everything pre-die cut and not, you know, everything was there ready. It was basically just sticking, cutting some layers and sticking. And then I found Stampin' Up and I was like, oh, actually, you know, because my thing was I didn't want to have to colour the images. That would take too long. So I liked the fact that the first few stamp sets I brought with two-step stamping, an outline or detail, and then the infill. So I didn't have to colour them. The colour was done by a stamp, which was brilliant for me. But then, of course, as things go on, you progress, don't you? And I now don't mind colouring so much in certain mediums. Love watercolour pencils, with water or without. I'm okay with the blender pen, a little bit on watercolour pencils. Blends, love them. Watercolouring with ink, love it. Colouring with ink and a blender pen, I struggle. I don't know why. It's one of the first things at Louise's class that we did, but I just, no, I can't do it. Well, I can, it's just not very good. You love all colouring, Carol. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I just can't get on with ink and blender pen. I don't know why. I've always coloured before I started card making. I used to colour. I've got a colouring book and pencils that I always used to take myself off and do a bit of colouring. Loved that. I used to love doing felt tips, but I used to like kids colouring books for felt tips, because when I colour with felt tips, I colour in lines. It has to be in lines. That's very OCD of me, I know, but that's the way it has to be done. Don't judge. Right, so I'm going to pop that little half one on there with maybe that one, and then we can have this little half one here, and a few little ones coming down here. Now, I like to look on the screen because I find I can see better on the screen to what it looks like. I might swap out so that it's not all the big ones and little ones together. There we go, and that just adds some extra to where we've stamped. Come on, glue. I wish I was better with blends. I'm okay. I pass. But it's nothing spectacular. It's more pot luck than actually knowing what I'm doing. Because sometimes it goes really well, and then other times it's totally horrendous. No, that's wrong. That's wrong to say it's not totally horrendous. Sometimes it's not so well. In fact, I might have a little bit of a sample of Ink and Blend, the pen that I did yesterday, in here, that I threw away because it was bad. Now, I was using the Thoughtful Journey paper, and I wanted to create a card with the Thoughtful Journey paper in the background, the one with the misty moonlight, black with bliss and all that. And I thought, right, I've got that. Then a frame, nice little frame, and to put one of the frame scenes in. And I thought, if I stamp it in the misty moonlight, use a blend pen to pull the ink into the image, fine. But then I wanted to colour the grass in the other colour from the paper. Oh well, that's what we got. It just, yeah, I mean, it's got wet a bit, but you see what I'm saying? Me and blend the pen, I'm okay with that bit pulling in, that's fine, but adding the, nah, straight in the bin. I was like, yeah, let's forget that. That's not my thing. Right, so there we have our decoration. So now I'm going to add, yeah, oh dear, it's that bad, isn't it? Oh dear. But we can't all be good at everything, can we? You know, there's certain things that just ain't going to work for us. Right, a bit of bling, I think. And I have got some little bees that we could use, some little bees flying around. Yeah, I think we'll go little bees. And I need my title. And my title, I don't know, because I don't know what. I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to put a title on, but my title will go somewhere here, like they have on the sample. Let's stick some bees. Love these little bees. They're so cute. Right, well, we'll have one up here, flying about there. And then we'll have a couple, oops, down here. On there. And one there. So he's going to that big one, he's going on to this little one, and that one's flying in between, I think. Yeah, that's where I'm liking. Or actually, he can fly off. Let's bring in your eye down there. He can come in. He needs to be in. Yeah, there we go. Right. Glue dots. I'll have glue dots on these. I'll just screw it up so that it fits. There we go. Next one is on there. Oops. I should have used my pokey tool really, shouldn't I? Rather than trying to just do it with my fingers. Oops. It's got a bit of thread caught. There we go. Beautiful. Love those. Definitely getting some more of those. Right. What else do we need? I'm wondering if it needs a bit of twine. Just on. They've got twine, but they've got a tag, and I haven't got a tag. I've got this. So I'm kind of thinking, once my photo's on, once my journaling's on, and my title. I mean, if I didn't want to put my title there, I could put my title up here if I wanted a bigger title, but I am thinking along here. But yeah, I think we're done. I really like that. There's very little stamping involved again. I don't know why, but just lately I seem to be creating a lot of things with very little stamping. Just get that glue off there with the most fantastic invention ever. Don't know where I'd be without my glue rubber. It doesn't allow me to not stress when I'm doing things and just do it because I know I can clean it up after. Right, there we go. So yeah, a completed scrapbook page. Let's switch you round. Oh, and that was timing, wasn't it? Because the printer's going to go, I think. Hayden is printing. So I don't know how long that's going to run for. If you can hear it, I'm sorry. Right, well, thank you very much for joining me. And I shall be back next week. What are we doing next week? Oh, I'm sharing Be My Valentine next week. Yeah, using that stamp set and punch. But look out for, I think there's a couple more, at least one more design using this week, and then we're on to the Be My Valentine from Monday. Thank you, Carol. Yeah, great. There's what we started with our example. There's the example, and that's where we took it from. So yeah, it's the same but different. I really enjoyed doing that. Right, thanks very much, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.